Bounce back, breakout year, or sophomore slump for these 2024 NFL draft picks? That is the million-dollar question for both coaches and fans. While some second-year players are bound to improve after a frustrating rookie year, some of the top rookies of 2024 are facing the unfortunate reality of experiencing the well-documented sophomore slump. So today, here are 5 rookies from 2024 who are set to bounce back in 2025 and 5 who will decline. Bounce back, Marvin Harrison Jr. Regarded as a generational wide receiver prospect last year, Harrison Jr. didn't exactly light up the scoreboard in his rookie season. The hype on the kid is so high that his 2024 campaign was considered a bit of a disappointment, despite a stellar stat line of 62 receptions for 885 yards and 8 touchdowns. The rise of tight end Trey McBride, who emerged as Kyler Murray's go-to weapon, did not help matters for Harrison Jr. But naturally, more experience and maturity will help the Ohio State product break out in year 2. You can bank on that. Remember, not every great wide receiver went off in their rookie year. His old man, Hall of Famer Marvin Harrison Sr. had an eerily similar rookie year as well. 64 receptions for 836 yards and 8 touchdowns. Terrell Owens, Chris Carter, and Michael Irvin didn't overwhelm opposing defenses as rookies either. A full year of NFL experience under his belt will help Harrison Jr. make the leap to greatness. Opposing defenses will have to account for McBride more as well, allowing MH Jr. to draw more favorable one-on-one matchups. Harrison was good but not great as a rookie. In 2025, he's going to make the jump to elite. Bank on it. Decline fast, Xavier Worthy. Look, we're not saying that Worthy will go down as a draft bust, no sir. But for at least 1 year, the Kansas City Chiefs speedster will experience a drop in production. So hold off fantasy football players, the breakout ain't coming yet. Worthy had a rock-solid rookie year with 59 catches for 638 yards and 6 touchdowns, to go along with 3 rushing touchdowns. His 19 receptions, 287 yards, and 3 touchdowns all led the postseason too. So, why is the player with the fastest 40-yard dash time ever on the decline aspect of this list? I mean, how could Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes not fully unlock his potential down the stretch? Well, let's start with the obvious. KC's top receiver, Rashee Rice, suffered a season-ending injury in Week 4 of last year. Marquise Hollywood Brown missed all but 2 regular season games, but KC saw enough to bring him back on a 1-year deal. KC also brought back Juju Smith-Schuster for another go and used a 4th-round pick on Utah State wideout Jalen Royals. At best, Worthy is going to be like the Chiefs' number 3 pass catcher. Mahomes won't be feeding him as much, with Rice and Brown both back in regular starting spots. Not to mention that Travis Kelce is still there. Worthy has all the tools to eventually become Kansas City's number 1 receiver, but Mahomes just has too many guys to feed in 2025. So chalk the season down as a sophomore slump year for Worthy, though to no fault of his own. Bounce back, Drake May. The North Carolina product showed flashes in his rookie year on a lousy New England Patriots team, tossing 2,276 yards, 15 touchdowns, and 10 interceptions in 13 games. Not bad considering they had football's worst wide receiver core and a bottom-tier offensive line. But all arrows point toward a breakout year from the former number 3 pick. For starters, how about the arrival of new head coach Mike Vrabel, who replaces the one-and-done Jared Mayo? If Vrabel could turn Ryan Tannehill into a Pro Bowler and lead the Tennessee Titans to the AFC Championship game, imagine what he could do with a highly talented QB like May. Say what you want about Josh McDaniels, but the man has always done well as the New England Patriots offensive coordinator. His arrival is a mega win for May too. And then there's the personnel upgrades. The Pats signed Pro Bowl wideout Stephon Diggs, former Buffalo Bills speedster Matt Collins, and veteran offensive lineman Garrett Bradbury, along with Morgan Moses. At the draft, they took can't-miss LSU offensive tackle Will Campbell at number 4, and then used day 2 picks on bruising Ohio State running back Tre'Veyon Henderson and Washington State wideout Kyle Williams. Surrounded by a tremendous coaching staff and a much deeper set of playmakers, May is now ready to do what Mac Jones couldn't: put it all together and cement himself as the long-term starter in Foxborough. Decline fast, Dallas Turner. The Minnesota Vikings surrendered a pretty penny to move up 6 spots via the Jacksonville Jaguars and take Turner 17th overall last year. Hindsight is 2020, but you know that Minnesota would never do this move again in a do-over. Turner played just 28% of Minnesota's defensive snaps, logging 3 sacks. His mediocre 63.9 Pro Football Focus grade placed Turner 90th among 211 edge rushers, and his 55.2 pass rushing grade ranked 149th. And yet, it stands to get even worse for Turner in 2025. In free agency, the Vikings bolstered their pass rush by signing Pro Bowl defensive tackles Jonathan Allen and Javon Hargrave. Scary when you consider that Jonathan Grenard and Andrew Van Ginkel combined for 23.5 sacks last year. So, now what? Turner looks like the 4th or 5th best pass rusher in Minnesota? How's he supposed to break out again? Now, we're not calling Dallas Turner a bust yet. I mean, not after just one season. But for Minnesota fans hoping that he'd take a big leap in year 2, we'd say prepare yourselves. The circumstances and star-studded depth in Minnie's front 7 will prevent him from doing so. Bounce back, Terry and Arnold. Arnold was the consensus top cornerback prospect of the 2024 draft, so it felt like a mega win when he fell to the Detroit Lions at number 24 overall. But while fellow rookie corners Cooper DeJean, Quinion Mitchell, and Nate Wiggins turned in excellent 2024 campaigns, Arnold's jump to the NFL was anything but smooth. Per Pro Football Reference, he allowed 4 touchdowns in coverage and a 93.7 passer rating when targeted. Arnold also finished with a brutal 51.5 PFF grade, including a 50.4 coverage grade. Indeed, it was truly a forgettable rookie year for the Alabama product. But let's not act like his career is already a bust. I mean, recent great cornerbacks like Richard Sherman, Stephon Gilmore, Chris Harris Jr., and Denzel Ward didn't break out as rookies. Arnold is put in a lot of tough spots because of the onslaught of injuries in the Detroit defense. Dan Campbell and then defensive coordinator Aaron Glenn just had to throw a bunch of pieces together and hope that something would work, you know, as opposed to utilizing Arnold best as an outside or slot corner. Anyway, valuable playing experience and a healthy Detroit defense will help Arnold bounce back and put together a monster sophomore year. He was a big-time playmaker and shutdown guy at Alabama, and it's only a matter of time until that version of Arnold translates over to the NFL. Bank on it happening this year. Arnold, Brian Branch, and Kirby Joseph are about to become a nightmare defensive back trio. Decline fast, Talisa Fuaga. Fuaga had a decent but not great rookie year on a lousy New Orleans Saints team in 2024. He committed 10 penalties and allowed 6 sacks per Pro Football Focus. His 65.7 PFF grade ranked 52nd among 140 offensive tackles, with his run blocking grade of 69.5 somewhat making up for his poorest blocking. Not that it'll be his fault, but things are about to get a lot more difficult for Fuaga as a sophomore. So, patience is a virtue for the Oregon State product and Saints fans. The Saints just lost the longtime mainstay of their offensive line, Ryan Ramczyk, to retirement. They also used their first-round pick of 2025 on rookie Kelvin Banks Jr., who, is sure to experience plenty of rookie growing pains. Veteran quarterback Derek Carr unexpectedly retired, leaving the Saints with a QB room of Spencer Rattler and rookie Tyler Shuck. And every offensive lineman will tell you just how hard it is to go from blocking for a seasoned vet to blocking for an unproven young QB. The Saints will be one of the league's bottom 5 teams in 2025. Fuaga is surrounded by football's worst quarterback room and an atrocious offensive line that lost its best piece in Ramczyk. Yeah, good luck to Fuaga on keeping this unit together in year 2. Bounce back, Keon Coleman. Asking Coleman to step in and replace Stephon Diggs' production immediately was not fair. At the same time, though, Coleman didn't quite produce as much as the Bills would have liked. Both these things can be true. Buffalo drafted Coleman with the number 33 selection, one spot before future Los Angeles Chargers star and 1,000-yard receiver Ladd McConkey. In 13 games, Coleman had 29 passes for 556 yards and 4 touchdowns. Not bad, but not exactly eye-popping either. But the stars finally are aligned for Coleman to have a strong bounce-back season, and not just because of natural growth and experience. Josh Allen spread the ball out to all his pass catchers last year, but the aforementioned Matt Collins and trade deadline pickup Amari Cooper have departed. So, Coleman is bound to get more targets. Khalil Shakir was the Bills' leading receiver last year, but Coleman has got the highest upside among Buffalo's pass-catching core. They didn't use an early draft pick to make Coleman a complimentary piece, so expect Allen and offensive coordinator Joe Brady to prioritize getting the ball in his hands. Decline fast, Tyrone Tracy Jr. Tracy Jr. was a pleasant surprise in an otherwise terrible New York Giants squad last year. With Saquon Barkley leaving for the Philadelphia Eagles, free agent signing Devin Singletary was supposed to take over as the Giants' #1 RB. But that title instead went to Tracy, who finished 3rd in rushing among rookies with 839 yards and 5 touchdowns. Tracy finished with 1,123 yards of offense, forming a promising rookie offensive tandem with wideout Malik Neighbors. But Tyrone Tracy fantasy owners beware. The sophomore slump is coming. First, let's start with the obvious. The Giants signed Russell Wilson and Jameis Winston before trading up for Jackson Dart in round 1. All 3 of those are mega upgrades over Daniel Jones and Drew Lock. meaning the Giants will be throwing the ball a lot more this year. Singletary should just get more carries too. And don't sleep on Arizona State rookie Cam Scatterbo. He has the ability to follow Tracy's footsteps and burst onto the scene out of nowhere as a rookie. Bounce back, J.J. McCarthy. The Vikings traded up to select the Michigan, a national championship winning quarterback, with the number 10 pick. The plan was for McCarthy to compete with Sam Darnold for the QB1 job, but the former required season-ending surgery on a torn meniscus before his professional career could commence in September. Well, Darnold seized the opportunity and had a career year, leading Minnesota to 14 wins en route to his first Pro Bowl selection. Confident in McCarthy's abilities, the Vikings let Darnold walk to free agency, where he signed with the Seattle Seahawks. If Vikings head coach Kevin O'Connell can get a career year out of Darnold, well, we have no doubt that he'll be able to maximize the talents of McCarthy. His confidence, poise, accuracy, and smart decision-making will make McCarthy a great fit on a star-studded mini offense featuring Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, TJ Hawkinson, and Aaron Jones. Minnesota also strengthened its O-line by signing Will Fries and Ryan Kelly before using their 2025 first-round pick on Ohio State guard Donovan Jackson. With the reigning Coach of the Year and an all-star supporting cast surrounding him, expect McCarthy to break out and assert himself as the future in the Gopher State. Decline fast, Rome Odunze. Despite playing third fiddle, if you will, to DJ Moore and Keenan Allen last year, Odunze had a superb rookie year with 54 catches for 734 yards and 3 touchdowns. And that was with Caleb Williams playing behind the league's worst defensive line, and with Matt Eberflus's inept coaching holding that offense back. Well, a rebuilt defensive line and the arrival of Ben Johnson has brought much better vibes to the Windy City this offseason. And with the Bears choosing to let Allen leave in free agency, all signs point to Odunze kicking it into another gear in 2025, right? Well, not so fast. DJ Moore is still the #1 receiver in Chicago. The Bears used their 2025 first-round pick on promising Michigan tight end Colston Loveland. With their second-round pick, Chicago took Missouri wideout Luther Burden III, projected by many to be a day-one selection. So, with do-it-all running back DeAndre Swift and tight end Cole Kmet still in the fold as well, Williams will not be short on weapons. But the additions of Loveland and Burden mean that fewer targets are going to be available for Odunze, who is not about to replace Moore as the #1 receiver. Look, there's only one pie, and everyone needs a slice. Odunze still has the upside to become an all-pro level receiver, but we don't see it happening this year, considering how many playmakers Williams has to feed. But which other NFL rookies will bounce back in 2025, and which ones will decline fast? Let us know in the comment section below. If you like this video and learned a thing or two, then clicking the like button helps us out a ton, and you know, we really appreciate it. If this is your first time coming around to TPS though, then subscribing is a great idea, because we put out videos like this every single day. But as always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.